Hey guys, welcome back. And today's image was brought to you by a client. No, it's not the client's job, but what happened was I did the shoot, and I did this shoot with natural light, just the camera and what I have in the studio. So after I packed away the client's stuff, I had a look and I thought, you know, this is really, really, really beautiful light. This is something that the guys would maybe appreciate, and it would give them a few thoughts and ideas. So I set up my own props into the shoot, and we took an image. And this image is shot, as I say, with just pure natural light. Guys, the light is coming from one side. It's directional light, and it's about how you frame and adjust your objects within the frame. It's about paying attention to detail. I've blathered on about using the screen on the back of the camera and all sorts of things, but these are important, guys. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. But listen, never mind all of that. Let's go over into the studio. Let's have a look at what we're doing, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. Good morning, guys, and welcome to another studio shoot. Now, I know I'm doing a lot of these, but we are in a situation where I'm not allowed out. So I'm experimenting and I'm shooting, and I'm doing client shoots as well. But I thought you'd like to have a look at this, because the final image is it's quite nice, and it's just natural light and light from one side. So let's go and have a look, as usual, at what we're doing. So here you see, guys, we have the grid lines on. Now, the grid lines are important because it's good for positioning the elements of the picture and for laying out the shot. Now, in the old days, we used to have a little cardboard cutout with a hole in the center, and we used to hold it up to frame images. Now we have digital. We can actually do this on the back of the camera. And if you're shooting on a tripod, and I suggest you all do this for a time because it helps you compose properly. If you're shooting on a tripod, you can set out things carefully. Now, I've gone through this set a few times, and I've just nudged and moved little elements. I look on the back, and what you may not notice immediately with the camera at your eye, you can look, you can consider, and you can look at where the various elements are. And does anything cut out of the frame? Is it too close? The little bit of brown here, I'm going to clone out. But basically what we've done is we've set the whole shot up. Now, there is a bit of a story to it, guys, because I have the whiskey. I like whiskey. I'm not allowed to drink too much of it, but hey. There's a cocktail shaker, which gives a little bit of height and a little bit of colour in there. And we have my first love. My first love is photography, and my second love is coffee, wine and whiskey. Yeah, and nice food, of course, but I photograph food a lot, guys. So the composition is one that that's dear to my heart. It's my camera, and I did a client shoot with some other things similar to this, and I've left the set and I put the camera in to put something I can show you guys. So the camera is my first love. The camera in the box is my backup camera. It's an old D800. Wonderful camera. This is my D850, and that is an amazing camera. So we have the D850 taking the picture. I have a glass of whiskey. Now, guys, I've talked about natural light a lot, and I've talked about seeing light. And when I set up the client shoot, the light coming across. This is one light, guys. This is light from these double doorways, and we have a skylight in the hall above. So these double doorways are providing the light. Now, I've opened the fill-in curtain over the other side of the studio, but that's so you guys can see me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and shut it, and I'm going to show you the image close up, so you'll see a little bit of how it looks to me. So guys, I've done that. Turned off the overhead lights, and now have a look at the set, guys. So you see, guys, it's quite a simple composition. In fact, all of these things are if you train yourself to see. You need to train yourself to look, you need to observe, and like I say, the live view on the back of the camera, well, that's a godsend for this. So use your live view. So what I've got here, guys, I've got the cable release, which is this one. It's just a manual cable release. €10. You know, you can afford it. If you want a fancy remote with all the little whistles and bells, that's up to you guys. You don't need batteries for this. You just screw it in, it works. Simple job, does the job. Now, I came from a day of film. I came from days when there was no live view. I came from days when you know, you had to use a light meter. There wasn't looking at the histogram on the back of the camera. So simple things like a cable release, a manual cable release, these are things I relate to. And why do I say have a simple cable release? Well, you can get a fancy remote. Yes, of course you can, guys, but you have to have batteries. And they're quite small. Sometimes you leave them behind, and then you have to do it a different way. Sometimes the connection isn't so good, it can't see the sensor. With this simple cable release, I can just plug it in, and because I'm using a cable release in my hand, I can look at the subject. So if I'm doing a landscape, maybe a seascape, I can watch the waves and bang. Here in the studio, okay, you can say, well, it's not so important. But for €10, it's not a big deal, guys. Hey guys, welcome back. You've seen how I put the studio together and how it works. You've seen me use natural light. Now, it's about observation. And you can do this, guys. If I can do it, you can do it. Yeah, you've got to practice. It's like any skill. You have to practice and learn to do it. But you can do it. It's a simple thing to do. Learn to see the light. When I put the briefcase in the studio, I moved it at an angle so the light was catching it. I didn't look and say, yes, that's fine, the light's catching it lovely. I went back to the camera and looked how the camera sees it, because the camera is in a different position. Now I have the grid lines on my camera, I have the camera on a tripod. And then I decided, no, I need to move it just a fraction of an inch more, and I just adjust it slightly. And this is what it is. You're honing in, you're homing in on the final image, and you're just making sure that you're clear of all the obstacles and the light is where you want it. Now, I've got light here coming from one side, guys, only one side. And the ambient light in the room is from that one side. Very bright light, but it's basically a one light shot, but natural light. So guys, what I want you to do is I want you to look at that image. I want you to look at it and see the effect of the light. you've seen how we look at it in the studio. So here's the final shot, and you can see the light on the briefcase. You can see how it catches the edge. You can see how the camera's angled, and you can see the light coming across and giving texture to the camera. So this is what it's all about. I moved each thing maybe 2, 3, 4 times just to get the light right. Am I looking at the composition? Well, the camera looks nice on an angle there, I think. But what I'm moving it for is because of the light. Great light is great light. There is no other better compositional element than great light. So this is why I've adjusted everything. The glass and the cocktail shaker, I just moved them one slightly forward, one slightly further back, and I just arranged them. When I'd done that, I'd gone back to the camera and I looked at it. Yeah, okay, that's okay. No, I need to move it 1/4 of an inch, and I'm really talking about that, guys. It's very small amounts. You can see, not that way, this way. You can see down the side of the briefcase here. You can see how the light is catching it. I had the material which was inside the briefcase, and this was there for a client shot earlier on. Basically, I took the client's stuff out and I put my own props in. Now, I shot this as a paid shoot for a client, and all I did was take the client stuff away. Will you ever see that shot? No, probably not. I don't post client shots. Anything I'm paid to do is private between me and the client, and that's the end of it. You know, I'm not here to talk about how much money I made and I had a paid shot this week. What I'm trying to do with this, guys, is give you ideas. So the setup was there, the briefcase was there, the table was there. I removed the props I'd shot and I put my props in. And as you know, I love coffee, but it's not my first love. My first love is photography. So the thinking behind this shot was my love of photography, the camera and the briefcase. The title of the shot is going to be Travelling Man. So this guy is a photographer and he has his briefcase, and he's a high roller, so there is the drink, and the cocktail shaker lifts it to a slightly different element. So I'm thinking of myself in this situation as a sort of James Bond figure, really. I know it's a bit laughable, but this is how my mind works. So you look at the situation, you look at the picture, you look at what you're trying to create, what's the feeling. And for me, it sums up in my mind the travelling man. Now, spend a few minutes, guys, looking at the picture. Look at the light. You know where the light's coming from. You've seen it on the studio picture. What I want you to do is look how it's affected by the different materials, how it's affected by the briefcase, how we have that beautiful texture in red material, how it's affected by the glass and how it changes when the glass is half full of whiskey, and how it is affected by the cocktail shaker. Look at the texture across the table. This is because the light is coming from the side. Listen, guys, I hope you get something out of it. I hope you enjoyed the picture. And when I did it and I saw how beautiful the light was, I thought, hey, the guys will like this. So I've done this video about it. And guys, like, share, subscribe. If you like it, YouTube thinks I'm wonderful, and they'll maybe promote me a little. Do I make anything out of it? No. I'm sharing my love of photography and the knowledge I've built up over the years with you guys. It's here not to prove how clever I am. It's here so that you can get ideas and enthusiasm for your art, because it's your journey, your art. It's the travelling man, the journeyman, if you like. So we're all on a journey, and the journey's photography and our art. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Like I say, if you can spread the word, that would be good. So I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.